안녕하세요. 유엔아할아버지예요. Well, I'm preparing for Ayu's birthday. And so for Ayu's birthday, I'm going to make a pastry that my wife taught me how to make. It's called a Tarte Normande. So step one is I'm going to make the pastry dough itself. Once I've made the dough, I'll put it in the refrigerator and I'll wait before I continue the process. So right now, we're just going to make the dough itself. So it requires, let's get the measurement going. Okay, it requires 8 ounces of flour. It requires 8 ounces of flour. I guess I should have positioned myself differently. Okay, I'm watching it. 8 ounces. Try not to make a mess. I hate messes because then I have to clean them up. Always avoid a mess if you can. Okay, that's 4 ounces. Okay, that's 5.5 ounces. Oops, a little mess. Okay, we're at 6.9. We're at 7.6, almost there. 7.9, I gotta be exact. Oh, still 7.9. Okay, great. All right, so put 8 ounces of flour in. Then it calls for a couple of tablespoons of sugar. Not much, just a little bit. I always put a little less sugar than they ask for. I don't like things too sweet. So 2 will be fine.
Could you tell us what a Tarte Normande is?
No, I'm not going to. It's going to be a surprise.
Where does it come from?
It's called the Tarte Normande because it's a French pastry from Normandy. Normande means Normandy. Okay? So you have to think about what is Normandy famous for. Well, next part of this process, you'll see what it's famous for.
Okay.
Okay. So I've done that, and now I just need to put in large amounts of butter. I need 5.
A pinch of salt.
Yeah, we have to get a little salt in too.
This is unsalted butter.
Yeah, it is.
And it's frozen.
It's frozen.
It needs to be frozen.
It's correct. It needs to be frozen.
So it's hard to cut.
And that's why it's so much work to cut through it. But you make it small little blocks. It's going to be thrown in the food processor anyway.
How many ounces of butter?
5 ounces of butter. That means 1 full stick plus a quarter of the other stick. So, pow, pow, pow. Okay. And then a quarter of the stick. About like that. This is a basic short pastry, and basic short pastry is flour and butter pretty much. Okay. After all, it's French. All things French have butter in them. Okay. So I'll put that aside for the moment. And a little bit of salt. Just half a teaspoon, quarter teaspoon. Let me see. It says half a teaspoon of salt. So I'll put in a half a teaspoon of salt. And then the exciting part is when you blend it, right? Here comes, that's a quarter. All right, that's a half teaspoon of salt. Okay, put that aside. All right, and now we have the excitement. Cover it up. Oh goodness, for food processors, right? Okay, and now during the process, I'm going to use some ice water while it's spinning around and some lemon juice I'm going to squeeze in. So while I'm doing this, I put a few tablespoons of water in.
Ice water.
It's ice water. Okay, so I'm waiting for it to thicken up a little. I know I'm going to need at least 5. So that was 3.
No, I would start with just 4 first, and then put your lemon juice.
That was only 3, and I'm going to put 4 in, and I'm going to squeeze some lemon. I think I have enough of it. Now I have to wait until it actually starts to get thick, bang around inside. Okay, I'm starting to do it. Oh, it's going in. I think I have enough water.
Yep.
That's starting to be it. You can hear that sound. Let me turn off for a moment, take a look. Let me take a look at this. Are we there? Oh, we're there. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it into a ball. Make it into a ball. And then, they say a ball, but I'm not really going to make a ball. What I'm going to do is kind of make it like a, it's not a disc exactly, but I'm going to make it an easier shape to roll out later. After all, this dough is going to be eventually rolled out into a pastry. So, I think I'll give it a flat, kind of like this looks pretty good. What do you think? A little more? Okay. Okay. After all, I'm going to be able to roll it. I'll have a roller on it later. Okay, so, all right, that's good. Yeah. Now I'm going to put a little, dust a little flour on it so it doesn't stick to everything. And then I'm going to put it into a bag here, put it in the refrigerator for a while, and this is what I use to make the roll-out pastry. Now I'm going to make it. I won't do it right now. I'll leave it at least 2 hours in the refrigerator. That's what they recommend. And I will continue the process later, and I'll be back to you then. Okay, now we're going to continue the process of making our tarte Normande by making the cream that you pour into the mold once I've rolled things out and made the shape. So, but we're going to do the cream right now. All right, and the way you're going to make the cream, you're going to use some creme fraiche, about a half a cup of it. You're going to use some just sugar. And sugar is about 2.5 ounces. You're going to use a couple of eggs, and the most important ingredient, of course, is Calvados, the traditional apple liquor of Normandy. Okay, and of course, pure vanilla, because can any pastry be made without vanilla? I don't think so. Okay, so what I'm going to put in first is the creme fraiche. Why not? Bang that out. I have a spoon. Let me scrape that out. Let me tell you, this cream is really great. Okay. All right, let me get that out. That's in there. I'll just scrape it off in a moment. In fact, let me get a tool for scraping the spoon. Here we go. I'm going to need it anyway. Okay, just scraping it off. Let me make sure I get all the delicious creme fraiche in the dish. Okay. Now I'll put in the sugar. I'll put in my 2 eggs. Okay. And let's put a dash of vanilla in to start. We'll put more in later, I'm sure. It's a dash. Look at that. You really can't have too much vanilla in my opinion. But we'll probably in fact want more later. And of course the ingredient that really is everything is the Calvados. We'll just splash them in now. I'm sure as I taste it later I'll probably want more. Let's make sure the Calvados is any good.
Come
You can't make a tarte Normande and not drink the Calvados. Okay, so let me take this device out. I'm sure you've all seen a whisk before if you've ever cooked. Well, maybe you've never cooked, who knows? I've done this particular pastry many times. My wife taught me how. That's the masterful camera person on the phone right now. And I watched her make this for years. She has this recipe. This is all in French. Thank goodness she taught me French. Okay, and I'm able to make this thing. I've made this, maybe a dozen times. And I always post pictures of it because it's so pretty when it's over, when it's done. And you'll see it. When I finish this thing, it's going to be the same pretty as always. Okay, first I'm going to do a smell to see if it smells right. Oh yeah, oh, I can smell the vanilla. Okay, well, I'll probably dash a little Calvados or vanilla into my taste. I'll taste it as I mix it. But we'll stop filming for now, and I'll pick up when I start to roll out the pastry. Bye for now. Okay, well, now it's time to roll out the pastry itself. Here's the pastry dough that I made the other day out of the refrigerator. A little cool right now. Let me dust the board so it doesn't stick. You don't want it to stick when you're rolling it out. I assume some of you, or all of you who are going to do this have rolled something before. Rolling things out was something I found very difficult to figure out when I first started to do it. Thank goodness my wife is patient with me, and I eventually figured out how to roll pastry. It seems simple, but anything you've ever done before always seems complicated. You don't quite know what to do. Okay, this should be pretty good. This is my favorite rolling pin. Ceramic, or feels like stone.
No, it's
marble. Stone, right? Marble, yeah. It's really hard, so let me get my elbow some clearance. All right. It'll eventually warm up and spread faster. What I'm trying to do, by the way, is I have to roll it out so it will fit in this mold. It has to be bigger than that mold. Imagine we're going to take this thing and spread it out that far.
It's 12 inch.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, it's a 12-inch mold. Okay. Okay, now that I've rolled it up pretty flat, as you can see, it looks big enough to hold the mold. I now will place it into the mold by rolling it onto the rolling pin, carefully, loosely, just so that I can roll it back out again. Okay, now I can pick it up like this, place it over the edge of the mold, and then just roll it out like that. And then I'll make it fit from there. I have to bring it over a little closer here. Okay, well, you know, the dough itself is very forgiving, so you can see I have some imperfections in here, but all I need to do now is roll the edges over and patch up any imperfections, and you will not know the difference when the tart is complete. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to peel the apples and then slice into little slices. So let me take care of that, and when I'm done making the apples into little slices, we will then assemble the tart and get it into the oven. Now we're going to slice. Obviously, we have peeled and cored and divided the apples into quarters to make them easy to work with. And now what we're going to do is, I'll just show you how to do one of them right here. I'm going to cut slices like this to be used in the tart. You'll see why. Okay, so it's going to take a little while to do all those, so I'll come back to you when I'm done with them. So voila, I think you're getting the idea of what this is going to be when I'm done with it. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this as it is without any of that cream. Remember that cream we made last time? Well, without that cream we've already made, but not inside the tart yet. We're going to cook it for 20 minutes in the oven, and then we'll add the cream to finish it off. So we're going to put it in an oven that's been preheated to 425 for the next 20 minutes. Okay. Voila, I'll see you in 20 minutes. Okay, so I've taken it out of the oven because you look at it, you can see it's just starting to get a little bit brown. So now I'm going to put the sauce in, and I turn the oven down to 375. Okay, so let me pour this in. You can already tell it's going to be great. It's so obvious. It'll spread out naturally because it's a liquid. Okay, that's it. Okay, now I'm going to try to remember to use the oven gloves so that I don't burn my hands. I almost grabbed it without them. Okay, the oven's been turned down. Now I'm going to put it back in the oven. There we go. And now we just let it go for 45 minutes. And we'll be back when it's ready. Well, how beautiful is that? You know, come take a close look at it, please. Look how beautiful that is. Now you have to hold your appetite. You have to wait until it's time to sing happy birthday.
Smell it.
So, oh my God, the aroma is phenomenal. Whoa. Okay, well, I'll see you at the party.